We were on the West End border, so if you walk all the way down Del Playa, you're walking in this direction, and then this kind of dead-end, awkward corner into beach access and bluff access, walking out to Coil Point. The things that we liked best about this place, the ocean access, of course, and there's a stairway now. If you wrap actually around the houses, there's a stairway and a beautiful little serene place to go watch the sunset and the waves and the surfers. It's quiet. There's really just a lot of natural ambient noise. You can hear birds and waves. There's not a whole lot.
And it's much greener right now. This is really
Yes,
brown
the brown
and
is
so
not accurate.
green. So that'll be another week.
And we actually looked at a space that was just beyond this, and that's completely green. And this is kind of where the residential stops, is right here, and then it just...
So go visit now.
Something else we liked was that the dog leash issue isn't so much an issue here. It's not a fenced-in dog park, but it is a dog-friendly park. And there are benches and tables out there, so it is a friendly, comfortable space for the most part. In the next area, what could be done right away that wouldn't cost much? Parking along this eucalyptus curtain is sort of diagonal, but I guess it's kind of informal right now, so formalizing that a bit. It's sort of paved, so just putting down stripes or things like that. Adding more benches and tables would definitely be welcome. They're in various states of repair, different designs and styles, but adding more, I think they would be used well. There's a fence actually right along the tree line, and right now it's just posts with nothing between the posts.
There's some dead fence. There's that's like...
Yeah, so the idea is to revitalize the fence because the fence actually keeps vehicles out of the space. So there's a purpose to having a barrier there.
Ruining the green.
Something else was the idea of having like temporary events out here, doing movies, on an inflatable thing.
You could fly a kite.
Kite flying, yes, yeah, sort of, kind of anything. There's a lot of running, jogging space. Whale watching, view binoculars, like we were in Monterey. Dolphins, yes.
Oh, I was just going to point out that it is an ESHA, environmentally sensitive habitat area, so I'd be a little careful about events out there. Because there's a lot of vernal pools that are hard to see, and so if you don't know the area, you could easily set up a stage on top of a vernal pool. So
well, and that's definitely, I don't think our next step is to go inflate, a movie theater and like have an event, but it's, right now it's not clear, just like you said, of where those spaces are and whether or not it's usable for anything.
Most of it isn't. Most of it's protected.
Educational signs.
Right.
So educational
signs would be good.
Yeah.
I feel like that's actually kind of that's a really important, it's both an important issue and a confusing and frustrating one when there's a planning conversation about Isla Vista, because it's like, well, there's all this space, but you're not allowed to do X, Y, Z, A, B, C, and that needs to be kind of consolidated and clarified if there are going to be conversations about what to do in Isla Vista, because it's true.
Very good point.
But that's exactly where the fence becomes so important, because right now you could just drive between trees. Another thing really out on the bluffs is there are no barbecue pits or anything in this area, so it's a possibility to look at. Trash collection is also pretty minimal out there. In terms of the amphitheater idea, we like the amphitheater idea and also talked about outdoor classroom space that could be used for university classes, that could be used for the teen center, that could be used for a youth center. Just an easily reservable, basic outdoor bowl.
And we're not necessarily saying that it has to be on the bluff that we were looking at, but as we walk down Del Playa, you see all these parks and they're just so open and so, and this is something that some people know about.
The perching idea really came to play here too, because a lot of people are perching naturally because they just want to watch the ocean and the surfers. So having some really fun seating away from the That's good. And then talk about natural benches, like large driftwood forms and stuff. Just really getting in with the natural vibe and not taking away too much from what is a very beautiful place itself. Then some longer term things. This intersection is pretty problematic. It's very, very blind corner, and there's a lot of traffic, a lot of cars, a lot of pedestrians, a lot of bikes, surfboards, dogs, gravel, all sorts of things happening right there. So how do you address that? One idea is making actually this section of the road, one way, and adding a section of bike path and sidewalk so that everyone could coexist and cars could go around in one direction. I think you might actually still have room for parking on both sides and cars down one way.
And just part of the precariousness about this corner is that also right here in between the trees, it really, really bottlenecks. And there's a post that goes in between, so you have surfers with huge surfboards on bikes trying to get past other people that are coming in. And it's sort of ambiguous who's going in and out.
So that could be better planned, that area.
So just thinking about the entryway to this place.
That was a lot of our like 2/3 of what we wrote down about long term was about that.
Yeah, and the gravel walkway, which is awesome, but what we asked people like there.
Oh yeah.
And what we met with another long-term resident, and she talked about how when there's rain, it erodes, and the wood border, thank you, starts sticking up and becomes a tripping hazard. And so long-term, looking at that path is something that should happen.
We did speak to somebody in the field and say, what do you like about this place? What would you like to change? And they would like to see more skating accessibility or a park out there on the bluff. Also, they said that, you love this, that perhaps this vernal pool area might actually become a great parking lot.
Don't tell them that.
So,
we just did our job. We did ask them.
It's adorable.
We didn't say that. They were good ideas.
Yeah. So, it was insightful. It was a possibility. So dream big.
Just another resident up here. He was with us also on this, and it was really nice because he walks there every morning and evening. And he let us know that there's just a bench for a surfer memorial that's happening up in the eucalyptus groves. And he said if there was to be a way of being proactive about formalizing that or offering some sort of sacred space,
Flowers.
that people visit there often. And also the lattice of the bluff. He also said it might be nice to create different spaces for gathering and also for different ways of gathering, not just benches, but maybe other ways of incorporating groups of people in maybe 4 to 6 places. He said there's a path that goes, and really it goes for 4 miles, but
it is gorgeous out there.
It's so pretty.
Did you, I don't know, you know that right up there in the left corner is about how many, 200 faculty in West Campus?
Yeah, this right here.
200 faculty right there. Have you thought, I mean, you looked, I know specifically, but any discussion?
They're good.
They're happy.
That's my question. Did you look at the interconnections of that space at Ivy in terms of bike? Can you easily bike out of?
We didn't even make it past here.
Okay.
We did, we want to explore this, but we didn't. And I worked up a sweat, and I was just dripping over that exercise.
We walked there and back.
Oh yeah. Good for
but there is
a fire lane up there coming out of faculty housing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has a post, they pull the post, that, fire lane. Otherwise, keep them right.
So that actually kind of brings us actually to the last question, which is partnerships and talent, and I'm going to add politics. So there's a county something like I don't remember.
Coastal something.
Coastal
Recollection, environmental rehabilitation.
Crep fund.
Crep.
Yeah.
Coastal resource enhancement funds.
That
Got there.
That one's
Yeah,
correct.
coastal. So that was a possibility. The Ivy Rexon Park District, the university, the California Coastal Conservancy, and the Coastal Fund, which is part of the Associated Students, which have several of them, 3 of them have partnered in the past to
Yeah,
do
the path, the
work.
DG path is from the Coastal Fund at UCSB.
The political piece, I think, that I saw really clearly here is there are some really community-oriented residents, and there are other residents who take the perspective of, I'm the one that lives here, and so I don't like somebody coming out and recommending improvements or changes to what happens here, and I wonder if that might, also be true for faculty housing. Like, I imagine living here and having a great quiet view, and then not saying like, let's do a movie, and they're like, no, thank you. So, just something to navigate.
There is a homeowners association for that neighborhood, and you could go and talk to or present to
You
the
were hanging out
homeowners
with some,
association.
right? No, we didn't have anybody.
oh
But they do have an official.
That's kind of the fun.
oh okay.
But the West Campus faculty are very organized. There's within themselves.
Oh, okay. So these
There's emailing, they're on it with all kinds of stuff internal. I find the challenge, because I live a block from that housing, and I've lived in that housing for a year, subleasing, is like, it is a border, it's like crossing a border into a different country.
Yeah.
And there's a whole reason why you have to drive all the way into
the other,
you can't, you can walk through, but I just find it interesting, the barrier there, and on both sides, like, of course they don't want Ivy coming into that pastoral,
Idyllic, quiet, peaceful.
kind of condo living.
That's why I said they're good.
But it's how to get I don't know, how to have mixer, and I don't
Faculty
know
out
if
in
the
the
group that's
Army
doing Ivy
Wildland.
Elementary is looking at that old barn or anything of, in terms of program, but we just got word, oh, you did? Okay, we just got word that, I got an email that says something about they're gonna tear it down,
Alright.
so.
Okay. Is that
The barn, I know, so.
Save the barn. Quick, let's go, run.
all right, everyone? Thank you.
We'll go next to today here.